Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you another one of my recent series of videos on what I think needs to be improved for the next FIFA. And this video I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on some of the attacking side of things, because in the first video I did, it was all about basically defensive AI and lack of positioning and just complete lack of sense on the defensive side of the ball. But today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the attacking side. But before I go any further into that, there is just one thing I wanted to mention. This is going to be a long series because obviously there's a long way to go until the next FIFA, and I want to really hammer out as many things as possible that I think need to be improved for the next FIFA, because in my opinion there are a lot of things that need to be improved. So if you see me miss some things out or focus too heavily on one thing in one particular episode, don't worry, it's not because I've forgotten, it's just because I'm going to be breaking this down into as many parts as I feel is necessary just so I can get as much content covered. But the first thing I wanted to cover today is connection, and I'm using this game as an example because if you're paying attention you can see just how stuttery this game is. And this is a game I played today. In fact, I played it about 10 minutes ago. I've just this second stopped playing this game to get on, and you can just see how stuttery the game is, and it just makes it so hard to play. And if you watch any of my live commentaries, I would have mentioned this hundreds of times before, but this is a prime example to say about it. The connection on FIFA 14 is absolutely abysmal. Flat out abysmal. I have never played a game with worse peer-to-peer connection than FIFA 14, and that really is saying something. We have been doing online gaming for decades now. This is not a new sensation. This is not the new thing anymore. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games have been released which do player-to-player online multiplayer, and the thing with FIFA is it's only two people. It's only two people, and you see me there. I actually shank a corner out of play because it's lagging so much the game doesn't register the fact I'm holding the analog stick to get a bit of a way swing. That's how badly this game is lagging. And before you go out and say, oh, it's because you're on some hand-cranked internet connection from some obscure island somewhere, it's not. I'm on 75 megabits down and 30 up, which is well above the national average. Now, that is super fast fibre optic broadband, and yet FIFA cannot find one player in its entire player base to connect me to where I don't lag. And it's just so ridiculous, because I play, Dota, I play, first-person shooters, I play hundreds of, varieties of games, and in every single one I can connect. And sometimes I'm connecting to US East servers. For example, I play on the US East servers in Dota 2 because some of the people I play with live in the States and it's the best connection for them, and I connect to that better than I connect to 1v1 FIFA. So I can connect to 5-6 people living the other side of the Atlantic better than I can connect to one person living in Britain on FIFA. And that is just absolutely insane, and it just ruins so much about the game, because you see a lot of people complain about, oh, all people do is whack it upfield with pace, and it's just, I can understand why people do that, because the connection makes it so difficult to pass, because players will completely forget what you want to do. For example, you saw De Jong there. I clicked X, but the game didn't think I clicked it at that time, so he took an extra half a step and lost control of the ball and ended up smashing it against the guy's shins instead of hitting a clean pass. You have people take an extra touch, so when you're relying on them to do a nice little first-time pass to get the ball in space, the game will lag a little bit, and then he'll take an extra touch, and then the move's gone. So basically, all you're relying on doing is just whacking that ball upfield with a pacey player, because that takes no skill, there is no risk involved, and it's a very, very high-reward strategy. And it's just painful. It really, really is painful. This is 2014 now. This is not a new thing. If you cannot get your game to connect two people together, when we have Battlefield 4 on the PC playing 30, 40, 50 people, all of them connect fine. Why can't I have a game with one person living 10 miles away from me? It's not hard. And it's so frustrating. It really is frustrating, because it just takes so much away from the experience when every single thing you do is sloppier because of connection. It really is absolutely painful. So that's the first thing I really wanted to discuss. You know, it's just so bad, and it needs to be improved. Because, like I mentioned, it takes so much away from the game experience having all of this bad connection. It just neuters 60% of what you're trying to do all the time. It's incredibly frustrating, but you know, the next couple of things I want to talk about are going to be focusing on a little bit more specific examples of just what I think needs to be improved with the attacking side of the AI. Now, what I've decided to do for this part of the tutorial is basically put 3 clips back to back explaining some of the problems that I see with this FIFA. And this first one is a problem with throw-ins. And you saw one example there, and the reason why I've chosen this clip is because there's another example coming up right here. And what I'm going to be doing is showing you them in normal speed first, and then slowing them down on repeat after that. But you just saw there, 2 back-to-back occasions, the AI failed to recognise where the ball was and where it was heading on the throw-in, resulting in players just randomly running away from the ball. In this example, again, playing a little bit of passing game, for no reason my winger steps up and goes offside. And then in the third example here, just look at my fullback. I've given the ball away. Look at him run upfield. He's still running upfield. He's still running upfield. And now is the only time he turns around. And these 3 examples all come together to show the same problem with the attacking AI in FIFA 14. It is just incapable of accurately assessing the location of the ball and what you're planning to do at that precise moment. And the throwing example actually had me laughing because in the first one here, you see, he throws the ball straight to him, and the AI still hasn't turned around. Now he turns around. There's like a 3-second delay, and this is from exactly the same game that I was explaining earlier. So perhaps it's the lag really accentuating these problems and making them incredibly obvious, but this is something which happens all of the time, and the fact that I've drawn all of these examples today from one game, this is not me trawling through 3 months of footage to find problems with the AI in FIFA or problems with the game design. This all happened in one game. In fact, the first half of the game. This isn't even the full game. I've got some clips that I'm going to be showing in another tutorial from the second half of this game, which are a little bit cringeworthy as well. But you see here, these are really good examples because for some reason it seems that the AI is really reluctant to appreciate what you're doing. Just like a throw-in is the most basic example of all time. I pick the ball up with Lens, the winger here, and my fullback's trotting up, nice and simple, and I just throw the ball straight at his face. This is not a tricky throw-in. I throw it, and look at him still running. He runs out of the way. When I pressed X to throw that ball in, the little yellow dot indicating where the ball was going to land was right at his feet. Yet for some reason, the AI decided that he'd want to run the player underneath the ball and risk me losing the ball. Unfortunately, that time the guy got back and put the challenge in and I kept it, but that shouldn't happen. That is just a really sluggish reaction. In this second example here, I'm not trying anything interesting. I've just played the ball out front from the free kick. I haven't sent anyone in any runs. And look at my winger, for no reason, he just wanders offside. And I'm trying to play a nice little ball into feet, then I'll flick it inside to the central midfield and try a little bit of build-up, and the player just wanders offside. And this is one of the countless examples I can show of this, because this happens so often with the striking AI. You'll just be playing a little bit of football, nice little X passes, you're not trying anything clever or cute, no through balls, and then a player will just step offside. And he won't be offside by an inch, he'll be offside by 4 or 5 yards. And this is an example here of him just for no reason wandering offside. I've got several examples from this game of Robin van Persie up front, a high 80s rated striker, famed for his good movement in the box and positioning, just for no reason strolling offside. It seems like every striker in the game is Darren Bent. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And this is one that really confused me. I play an absolutely terrible crossfield ball. I've blatantly lost the ball. And look at my fullback. Look at him run. He's still running. My opponent has won the header. He's still running up the field. He's still running up the field. He's still running up the field. And now he turns round. So that's basically 3 seconds after seeing him lose the header, he just charges upfield. Unfortunately, again in this situation, I had a centre-back ready to swoop in, pick up the loose pieces and continue with the ball. But that is a really good example of just really foolish play by the AI there. Again, didn't send anyone on a run. There was absolutely zero input from me at all there. That was all the computer's doing, the AI is doing. And this is one of the real problems with trying to form any form of attack on FIFA. Now, you saw at the start of the video when I was showing you all of the lag. The lag is a massive issue. For me, it's the main issue in the game because the lag just makes everything else worse. You see people complain about crossing, heading, long balls, pace, hacks, all of these things people moan about. For me, lag accentuates that tenfold because it means it's so hard to counter anything because you can see what's coming. You know what's going to happen. Your opponent is playing in a particular style. He's executing a plan, and you're trying to micro defenders and you're trying to get the right player to put pressure on. And you're trying to switch player, and you can't do it. And on the other side of the coin, you're on the ball, you see space, you see players moving, you try and create something, and everything is always a second delayed, and it's just incredibly frustrating. But examples like this, these are not lag related foibles, these are AI problems. I mean, the throwing one, it makes me laugh every time I see it. Just again, throw the ball in, the ball would have gone straight to his feet if he hadn't have moved, but for no reason he decides to run on. What are you doing? Why have you done that? It's just, the whole idea of the quick throw mechanic is so that you can get the ball in field as fast as possible to create a slick move. But it gets to the stage where you just dare not throw the ball in because you know the AI is going to do something stupid with the player you're trying to throw it to, and you risk giving the ball away and giving up all of your momentum. And then when you do try a little bit of a pass and move, for no reason and with no input at all, one of your players just runs offside. Again, look, see, he runs upfield a little bit. He stops level with the defender. He thinks, should I run on a little bit further? Yeah, I'm going to run on a bit further. Goes three more yards into an offside position, and I give the ball away. That guy made the run, stopped onside, and then went, no, I'm going to stand offside there. He consciously ran offside for no reason. I mean, you can see the double movement here. When I've powered up the ball, he's onside, and then he takes that extra half a step for no reason and ends up being miles offside. It's just infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. You're just, you're trying to play FIFA to enjoy it, and the reason why I make these videos and the reason why I do tutorials and live commentaries is because I enjoy FIFA. And this is not a video series where I just bash FIFA to get frustration off. This is a series aimed at me trying to show problems with it so they can get fixed. Because if these problems were taken out of the game, FIFA would be fantastic. It really would. Because when it's not lagging, and when you're up against an opponent who isn't using cheap exploits, it's hilarious. It's a great game. You're trying to do fantastic passing moves and you get a class goal come off, and then you're in a really close battle and it's really rewarding and enjoyable and a fun experience. But things like this, little niggles and foibles, undermine the whole game. They really, really do. So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching part 2 of this series. Again, all of these clips came from one half of gameplay, so 6 minutes of gameplay, and I could have put another 6 or 7 examples of these from that first half in, but I thought these were the most glaring examples of the problems with the attacking AI in certain situations. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Obviously, this is a series designed by me to try and get these sorts of problems into obviously a small audience, but an audience nonetheless, to discuss them, see whether they're widespread, whether they're just lag related, whether they're gameplay problems, try and get all of that out. So if you have any comments, I certainly would be interested in hearing them. But once again, thank you so much for watching the video, and as always, have a great day.